Hi, come on in, grab a seat and get comfortable. My name is Cindy Cross and I'm with LVC Ministries. Today I would like to talk to you about the assurances that we have when life's storms rage against us. Today's passage will come from Mark chapter 4, verse 37 through 41, and it's from the NIV version. A furious squall came up and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Now, when I read those passages, I thought to myself, typical disciples. There Jesus was in the boat. And if you think about it, I can just imagine, if you will with me, the scene that was going on. The winds were howling, the waves were crashing over the boat. But I'm sure good old Peter took control. I can just hear him barking out orders. "You and you," to the disciples. "Take down that sail before it rips." I'm sure the other disciples were hanging onto the side of the boat for dear life. And Peter was walking through them, grabbing them by their robes. "You and you, go and get those oars in before they break. And you and you and you, grab buckets and start belling water out of this boat." Then he gets the bright idea to wake Jesus and get him involved. Even as I think to myself, typical disciples, don't you and I also do that as Christians? When storms rage against us, we try to fix our own problems. And all the while, Jesus is sitting quietly in the boat, waiting for us to give him control. When we finally realize that we can't solve the problem ourselves, that's when we let Jesus in. And all he has to do is come into our lives and speak those three little words: quiet, be still. That's all it takes from Jesus. Now how many words did we have to use on the problem? How much time and how much stressful worry did we spend trying to fix our own problems? When you accepted Christ into your life as your Savior, you essentially told Jesus that you trusted him in all things, and you made him the Lord of your life. Now maybe you're in a storm now. Maybe that storm's just a small squall. Maybe it's a large storm. But you're not going through this storm alone. Remember, in Jeremiah 29:11, God promised you that he had a plan for you. And that plan was not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future. Don't you think it's time that you lay down the bucket that you've been using to bail out your leaking boat all of these years and let Jesus come into your life and speak those three little words: quiet, be still. In Matthew 28:20, Jesus tells us that he will be with us always. So I'm wondering, why do we try to fix our own problems? Why do we allow Satan to manipulate us? And why don't we turn ourselves over to Jesus completely and totally? I don't know about you, but I don't want to hear Jesus say, "What are you so afraid of? Do you still have no faith?" Remember, the answer to your problem is already in your boat. If you'd like to read this blog in its entirety, go to lvcministries.com, click on Archives, then click on February 2012, and click on the blog When Storms Rage. Thank you.